Welcome to YellBRo. I am Jordan, and today, another fan request. This video, RAND Corp. What is the Internet of Bodies? Sounds amazing. Sounds like fun. Nothing scary about this at all. It's, sign me up. Before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery, to helping victims of Africom, to Cohen Daly, the Australian boy. Also, help out some content creators, Stevie, aka Redneck Economics, aka Fred, Sleepy J, Buy him a coffee, 2 scoops, extra cream, and the snail from Chicago. Optionally donate to the snail from Chicago, Ali Alexandra. All links in the description box. All right. So I have not watched this yet, but it was in my fan request thing on Discord, and I will react to it. I was born for this. Can't you see the magic on my face, on my boring voice and face? All right. This is from Sheep Farm Studios. Okay. RAND Corp. What is the Internet of Bodies? RAND Corp. What does that sound? I feel stupid. I can't tell if that's like a fictional corporation. Why does it sound familiar? Or a real one? I'm gonna say it's real, but I don't know who Sheep Farm Studios are. Either way, let's check out this video and react to it. Here we go.
In the 20th century, wireless technology integrated with the human body was nothing more than science fiction. But today, Wi-Fi connected devices like heart rate monitors and sleep trackers have become common parts of American life. How has bionic technology evolved so quickly from science fiction to reality? And what could this Internet of Bodies mean for our lives moving forward? RAND researchers are studying this phenomenon and what consumers and policymakers need to know as we veer into uncharted territory.
The Internet of Bodies, or IOB, is actually an ecosystem. It's a bunch of devices that are connected to the internet that contain software and that either collect personal health data about you or can alter the body's function. We think of the Internet of Bodies as this collection of all these devices as well as all the data that the devices are gathering about you. And in healthcare, Internet of Bodies has been around for quite a while. With the advent of the internet, it makes a lot of sense to connect your pacemaker to the internet so that your doctor can be automatically notified if something weird happens, if there's an anomaly. It's natural.
This is how it usually goes. If something is if there weren't creepy people at the heads of governments and all that shit and all the nuance of social corruption, if you will, if you want to put those words on it, like that makes all this weary. But if that wasn't there, this would make a lot of sense to people, honestly. Oh, if you're by yourself in your house and you have a heart attack, your thing will go off and like instantly notify 911 or something. Or we collect data on all these medical things, so we can like, oh, is there a trend here, right? So we can investigate, do our detective work, and figure out like, oh, okay, this illness seems to be isolated in this area. Maybe there's something in the environment in this area that's causing this problem. Yeah, it makes sense. Mechanical thought speaking, it makes sense. But once again, the actual problem is not the technology really itself. It's more of the people using it or selling it and whatnot. Yeah, people problem. It's like it'd be cool to have a metaverse, fucking digital fucking world that you can spend time in. Like you can't go anywhere. Like let's say it's like a big snowstorm, you get to hang out with your friends on sort of virtual world or play NBA 2K in a virtual world. So it's like, oh, I can work out, but also work out like it's a game, right? I used to dream of that as a kid. Like, oh, I wish there was like a simulation like baseball. Just put goggles on and fucking I can practice all day swinging a bat, right? So, like I said, tech has always been neutral. It's what people do with it. That's the problem. Here we go.
In a lot of ways to want to understand
I'm guessing
more
this is real,
about
by the
your
way.
body, how it functions, how
I don't know
well
why.
it's doing.
I think I know what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Umbrella from Resident Evil, which has like, if people saw that and saw this, they'd be like, huh, seems very similar. Like, this shit is it's always like this type of shit that leads to like a zombie apocalypse. I'm like, sometimes I think some of these writers in films, not saying Resident Evil, but I think some of these writers in film are like, huh, when they're talking about like the ultra tech bringing in the zombie apocalypse. I don't think they mean flesh eating zombies running around. I think they mean like a particular state of mind, type a thinking process. Like, oh, that's what's run rampant, right? And it's usually the person, the empathetic person, the person with a heart, the person with abstraction to them that survived the zombie apocalypse in these works of art. It's interesting. Not all of them. A lot of them are just straight up entertainment, bloody gore, zombie things. All right, let's continue.
IOB devices could revolutionize healthcare. Unprecedented amounts of personal health data could inform treatment plans that are
Here's the
completely
advertising.
tailored to a patient's needs.
There are pills now that have an electronic sensor that let a healthcare provider know whether you have taken the medication. Other things like precision.
See how it just knee-jerk reactions like, that's horrible. Like, wait. What would be the purpose of that? Knowing when making sure you took your medication or something? Kind of beyond the person. Well, like I said, knee-jerk reaction, like, I can see the creepiness with that and how creepy, like, where that can be so invasive and creepy, obviously. But they will rationalize it because there is room for like, this is a practical solution for this. There are plenty of people with the mechanized thinking that don't think like, hey, what if this guy's lying to me? Like, that doesn't even like, it's not popping up as like a real deep thought about that. Like, it's just, they could be lying, but everyone else is doing it, so it can't be that bad. All right. Like Joe Rogan, New York Times, they can't lie because if they lie, they'll lose subscribers and viewers. Then they'll go away. They'll disappear. Like, you really think it works that way? They can't lie. Practical, they can't lie. Same thing goes here. Everyone else did it and they're fine, so I'll do it. Not knowing where it could lead to. All right, here we go.
Medicine. So precision medicine is the idea of creating pharmaceuticals or treatment like specifically for your body, for your personalized treatment. And
once again, that makes sense. But who knows what it's used for?
I think IOB could really help with that because nowadays a lot of healthcare is based more on, average reactions, whereas with data from IOB devices, you might be able to really more precisely treat a certain disease.
But the Internet of Bodies won't be a cure-all.
That's Tim Black.
In fact, the largely unregulated market poses risks to the uniquely sensitive data these devices collect.
First of all,
that's the second time I've heard that. Or, I've heard it in other places, but very recently, the metaverse thing and this, where there's just little snippets within the videos where they complain about regulation. It's like hilarious. It's like, it sounds like a Republican, typical Republican politician complaining about fucking regulation on industries. It slows down work. It's killing employment. We could be hiring more people if we don't have to worry about these damn regulations. Meanwhile, it's just so they can dump oil in Lake Michigan or something, or the Hudson River. I don't know. I think that's just interesting. That's brought up.
Well, there's the cyber risk of of an actor potentially hacking into the system, whatever it might be. There's the privacy risk of all this
Her eyes
data that's
glossed
being
over on that
collected,
point.
and the regulations about that data are really murky at the moment. And so there's not a lot of clarity into who owns the data, what happens to it, who it gets sold to, how it's being used. And there's even potentially national security and global security risks.
A few examples of these risks have already played out in real life.
We know Joe Biden's dick
For
doctor.
instance,
We know
in
exactly what his
2018,
we know his
highly
dick chip.
sensitive information about
Exactly
US
what his dick is
military
doing.
activity and
It's a
base
national security
locations
problem.
was inadvertently revealed by soldiers' fitness trackers. So this is a pivotal moment. What can we do to
Can't
make
wait.
sure we reap
Sign
the
me
potential
up.
benefits of the Internet of Bodies without risking our privacy,
Very diverse commercial, too.
security, and personal autonomy?
Consumers should be wary of IOB devices because as it's becoming more and more popular, all of this intimate data is being collected, arguably more intimate data than we've ever really recorded before. There's no clarity on what is being done with that data.
By the way, they're going to tell you that's what makes you you. You're going to collect data on all the body parts. Remember the what was it, the neuro weapons? Right, the Giordano guy. The neuro weapons, where like we can target like specific whoever's. Right? It's like I mean, part of me thinks they just want to rebuild human, like use us as experiments to rebuild their own robot bodies and then live in their robot bodies forever. It's like, well, that's their thinking for sure. Seems like that. Think about like what psychopathy is, right? The absence of, I would call it, the absence of those other human qualities. Now, if that's their type of thinking, they would say the only way to keep forward in life is to keep the only thing they recognize as them, like the brain, keep the brain going. Yes. We can do that by uploading it into into a fucking robot body and live forever as like surrogates. Bruce Willis. Hey, that could be their thinking. Or like it doesn't like once again, it'll make sense, right? All this shit in this entire commercial thing here, all of it, because of where it's moving toward, it seems like society is moving towards, it'll all make sense to them. And it's like, how do you combat that? Like, well, the thinking has to change. Now you have the old school guys, right, who just like, I don't trust a man unless I feel calluses on his fucking hands and knuckles and shit, right? They want like a hardened person, or what's the word? Freak. What's that word? Not luck, but superstition. Or superstition, right? A lucky penny. Keep it in my pocket all the time. Don't step on a crack. You'll break your mom's back or something. I don't know if they didn't go that far, but little superstitious things that the people actually believed in. Now the problem is they didn't spend time to develop that. To where like, what is that thing? What is superstition? How come it always seems to work out that way? What is that? Those questions are not asked. They're not really looked at. In fact, you're more likely to find someone to just accept an answer from religion A, B, or C, as opposed to actually investigating it. Some do, but then even within that subgroup, you'll see, we're all one. We're all one world. All of us. One. Spirit, soul, consciousness. Like, you're just saying words. Like, what is that? What is that? Have you really examined that? Or is it just, this feels good. I'm going to stay here. There's a reason why I think a guy like Tessarian calls it the Siddhartha Road, because it's dark and scary. Like, and you can see it. It feels like it's something visible to where like, what do they say in Vietnam? At 1,200 yard stare. like, oh, you've seen some shit, haven't you? You can smell it on them. But I think that's the thing that combats overly mechanized thinking. This shit, to where you are a robot, basically. You are a robot, and we can find the totality of you through gizmos and gadgets and chips and wires. And then as far as the environmental software programming, we just study the environment. Once we know both of these, we have the complete human being. Meanwhile, the guy with the lucky pennies kicked to the side. Like, no, that superstition doesn't exist. And they kind of weed it out of their minds. That abstract thinking, that sense of wonder and mystery gets kicked to the side. And it's like, I'm going to be real with you. I think a lot of people that think they're doing the abstract thinking aren't quite doing they're just doing a mechanized version of maybe abstract concepts. Like I said, we are one. We're all one consciousness. What was it? Transcend the ego. Oh, butterflies and rainbows. Right? They call it. They think they're diving into the abstract, but it's just new version. It's the same thing, mechanistic, mental gymnastics, but not the actual diving in depth of that real darker abstract stuff. Transcend the ego. Or what is it? Nucleate the opposites. Shadow work. Those are just words, right? Where did I hear this at? Someone was like, I think it was like a movie documentary thing, where someone was like, well, what is love? What is love? Like, well, it's the Matrix in the Matrix. Like, well, love's just a word. But what does it mean? Like, what is it actually? That's a different question. Love's just a word, a symbol for something deeper. All right, let's continue.
With an old mechanical pacemaker, there's no data
RAND
that was being collected and stored, and you could look at a history of someone's heart rhythms. Because policy tends to lag behind innovative technologies
About
like
you
this,
microchip
it's
this
probably
dick.
up to the consumers and to the healthcare patients to really be aware
I should really
of
be kicked off of
the
YouTube.
devices that they're using and what is happening to their data, and to know what the regulations are in their particular state, because it does vary so much state by state. Even if you think
I'm just stuck
you're
on
not
that joke.
interesting or that nothing will happen with your data, there are a lot of unknowns that I think we need to be careful about.
A lot of gnomes. A lot of gnome knowns and unknown gnomes. Chomskys. All right. RAND Corporation is a nonprofit institution that helps improve policy and decision making through research and analysis. Bland Corporation. All right, there goes my reaction, guys. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. I threw out a bunch of ideas there, but it probably sounds like I'm on repeat. Some of the ideas I keep bringing up. Whatever. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. If you don't have money, then share it. If you do, share it and donate. But it's always your choice, obviously. Chooser's choice. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down. Like my Dr. Disrespect intro. Give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.